At Luminas, we've conducted hundreds of digital infrared thermography tests that visually measure heat caused by inflammation. In almost 100% of these tests, the Luminas pain relief patch caused a reduction in inflammation, which visually changes the skin temperature within minutes of application.
The technology, it's actually a digital infrared camera. It's the one type of imaging tool that can really, in real time, show you how that patch affects the body in a healing way.
Taking a look at the thermoscan that she did for me, I could literally see it. I was so inflamed in the back, and the next thing you know, I could start to see green, and the pain I feel is like nearly gone. I can't believe how much it's relieving me.
You can see all the heat, and then it reduces down. When you ask the person, how are you feeling? Wow, I have less pain. It's like, that's a pretty good testimonial.
Using thermography, I could see where the actual pain originated. The before and after is huge. That feeling of release, the pain's not there anymore.
My arm swells really bad due to the lymphedema from my breast cancer. I seen like a thermal scan. I was like, well, how's that work? Yeah, you can tell a dramatic difference. I keep telling my daughter, look at my arm, it looks so much better. I'm a believer in Luminas.
I mean, I've been to all sorts of people to get this pain taken away. Massage therapists, physical therapy, nothing could really get to the source, but after coming here, waiting 15 minutes to put a patch on, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the pain is gone, inflammation is almost completely gone. It feels amazing. Everybody should try it. I'm a believer. I really am.
Anybody going about their daily business and daily life, gravity has an effect on all of us, right? We all kind of feel aches and pains at times. I was sort of just going through normal little tweak here, tweak there, started to use them, started to feel a lot better. There's just absolutely no downside to it either, so it's just something to stay fresh on the golf course. It's one less thing to think about if your body's feeling good. So yeah, I had a scary moment back in May, just in the back garden with my boy playing football, and it was just an innocuous little thing that happened. I did a little turn and just went right over the top of my ankle and heard a big crack and just elevated my foot, patched up immediately. It was quite interesting the next day. I could see the swelling or the discoloration around my foot, and where I had the patch, there was a significant less discoloration. So that was kind of my first true experience of trauma or a really bad injury where I'd used it immediately, and how it maybe saved me days or weeks possibly. There's no doubt it sort of sped up my whole recovery process, and game changer. It's just keeping the inflammation down, and you know, that makes a difference cumulatively for sure.
But what they've been able to do with these patches is capture the electron profile of hundreds of different natural compounds that have been shown through years of research to have a great anti-inflammatory and anti-pain effect on the body. We're talking about turmeric and botswala and ginkgo and vitamin D.
Nowadays, you can supplement, say with turmeric. You consume it, you have to digest it, you have to break it down. Then eventually, at a molecular level, it works on a receptor, and then that causes changes in the DNA to create proteins that reduce down inflammation. With energy medicine, they've taken the charge of that compound, put it in a patch that you put your skin, gets absorbed, that will drive down inflammation.
So we're taking a natural compound, capturing its information, putting it on the patch, so when the patch goes on the body absorbs that information and utilizes it.
There's no side effects, no drug interactions. Men, women, pregnant, not pregnant, like I can think about so many limitations in medicine that I don't have to face when it comes to the patches.
The great thing about this is there's no side effects. You can have anybody come in, grab one of these patches, put it on the area that is injured or hurts, and almost instantly you're going to start to see some relief.
The technology is one of the best anti-inflammatories for active recovery.
We knew Luminas Relief worked, but we wanted scientific proof. So, we submitted to an independent, third-party clinical research organization. They conducted a formal clinical trial, and we nailed it. We wanted to know how patients were feeling, so we asked patients to quantify their pain on the industry-standard, clinically designed VAS pain scale. The verdict? Luminas Relief decreased their pain from 7 to 4 on average in just 45 minutes and maintained that pain level for 24 hours. Additionally, Luminas Relief worked on nearly 90% of participating patients. But that wasn't enough. Since we know the patch is directly targeting inflammation, we measured the inflammation on every patient using digital thermography cameras. Even we were amazed by what we saw. 94% of patients saw an objective reduction in inflammation.
I've dealt with pain my entire life at a high level. And for the first time in my life, I found relief through Luminas patches. I went to college and I tore my left ACL. Never felt that type of pain in my life. And they were trying to tell me you need to do X, Y, and Z as far as pain medicine. And I was taught as a young person, don't take pills. And I dealt with it. It hurt. Then I went my senior year in college. I tore my other right ACL. And it was the same, similar situation. So for me, it was like I dealt with pain only because I didn't want the medicines in my body, and I stayed with that. But when I finally tried Luminas patch, I was like, wow, this is actually working. And then I went and played. At 44 years old, I was playing a pickup game. I used the patch. I got home, stretched, took a shower, and woke up just the same, got right out of bed. It's never happened to me in 30 years of my life. But I said, I'm gonna play one more day, and I played back-to-back. I haven't played back-to-back in like 7 years in NBA. So I've tried it, played again, same result. No pain, I get up out of bed, normal, like better than I have before. And for me, I take them now when I don't even play, and I get up out of bed and I feel good, and my days are better. I realize this is game changing. Like I could have probably played an extra 9 years if I would have had this. No side effects, no chemicals, healthier life. Luminas patch gave me that. The proof is in the relief.
I have fibromyalgia and dysautonomia. Dysautonomia is a disorder of the autonomic nervous system. Managing pain was, of course, lots of medication, 3,600 milligrams of gabapentin, tramadol, Solandac, Mobic. I've tried amitriptyline. I've tried them all and I still have pain. Since I've been using the patch, I am able to walk further or at least sit in a wheelchair for longer periods of time. It makes my days more manageable. It really does. It helps the pain tremendously. There was actually another lady in the office who had just put one on who also has dysautonomia, and she'd had it on about 10 or 15 minutes and she said, no, you really need to try it. By the time I got to my car good, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in the car normal without leaning or trying to take some of the weight off of my hips, but I was sitting in the car fine. Being on so many medications, there are lots and lots of side effects, and it's great knowing that I will be able to use something that's not going to have any additional side effects, and I know that it's going to work every single time that I use it. I use them for the really tough areas between my shoulder blades and especially my lower back. It literally sometimes will mean the difference between me having to use a wheelchair if I'm going to walk long distances and not. I have a 15-year-old daughter. She is here, there, and everywhere. And there were times where I said, baby girl, I can't. There's no way that we can go and I'm going to be able to walk this long distance, or even sit in the chair. I use a patch and it's so much easier. And that has been so great to be able to participate in her life.
Constant tennis elbow and almost where I can't sleep at night. The pain's so bad. Cortisone shots, creams, gels, you name it. I've got stuff from all over the world that I've tried, but nothing's ever really helped. The patches have made a big difference, and I love the fact that there are 0 side effects. They come in all different sizes. They're easy. They fit in my purse. I have them in the drawer next to my bed. I keep them in my golf bag, and I pass them out to all the other people that are suffering like I am. So this technology is going to change the way that people deal with their pain and inflammation.
I've been a nurse for 22 years. The older you get, you see the things that take the toll, on the knees, the hips. We're really struggling with how much ibuprofen and medication we were taking, and then we found the patches, and it changed the game. I started using them on my knees to begin with, and that really worked. Then I've moved them around to my back. I've used them for a headache. You just put a patch on. We don't have to worry about side effects, no medication. We don't have to worry about interactions with anything else. And we've got pain relief. Most importantly, we've got pain relief.
I'm 61 now. It's a lot different than being 31. I don't want to end up at 75 and not be able to function and move around, and it's very important that you stay healthy. We cycled across the country, 3,570 miles. We did it over a 50-day period. Without the patches, it would have been popping pills every day. And she'll tell you I don't like to even take an aspirin, and I don't most of the time. When I ride a long distance ride, I put one on each leg. I put them on my back, on my shoulders. Sometimes it's almost instantaneous. I mean, you can feel relief with just in minutes. And it's amazing what these patches can do. And I can't say enough about it.
Not only did I use lidocaine patches in Icy Hot, but I would pop 3 to 4 to 6 Advil a day. I had lots of physical therapy bills, thousands of dollars, and nothing seemed to work. The patch not only worked to keep the pain down, but at night I could sleep again. The technology that has gone into this patch that has allowed me, as an old guy, to continue playing tennis, to continue moving around, has been just phenomenal. So it allows me to work pain-free, it allows me to move pain-free, and it lets me keep very active. Luminas patches are very easy to use. I don't have to worry about how many I put on. I don't have to worry about if I have it exactly placed correctly. So it's allowed me to continue the lifestyle that I enjoy while doing the exercise that I love.
I've had just chronic back issues for the last 3 years. I was to a point where I could barely sleep, sit down. Getting in and out of my car was just a nightmare. I've been to doctors and they said, hey, we can give you a steroid shot for this. We can give you pills, and just not how I grew up. So I was apprehensive toward that. The first time I took the patch, within 15 minutes, I was back to new. It was incredible. I am on the go at work, at home, so having these patches has been a great way to continue to stay active without having to do any surgery or hardcore medicine. They've been miracle workers.
I had a brother-in-law come over and literally could not move. Could not pick up his kids, could not get out of the car, had to have help. I immediately gave him a patch, and I'm not kidding you, within 10 minutes he felt just total relief. Was picking his kids up and taking them to the car on their way home a couple hours later. I've tried Aleve, I've tried Tylenol, and they work temporarily, but I know with the patches that I'm going to be receiving pain relief for 24 hours, and I'm not putting those toxic chemicals inside my body. I don't have to carry around a pill bottle. I can keep them in my golf bag, my tennis bag, even my wallet or my pockets. It just gives me relief. I know that I can carry my kids and not have to face the repercussions of being sore the entire next day.
I had a shoulder injury. It was getting to the point to where I would be playing golf and I would go home and have to put an ice pack on my shoulder, front and the back. After I played the round with those patches on the front and the back, I had zero pain. Yeah, it's been tremendous, and I literally have seen the pain go away in my knees, my ankles, my lower back. Obviously now, even when I work out, if I tweak a knee or hurt my ankle, I don't even think about it anymore to put the ice on or anything. I just go right home and put the patches on the place where the pain is, and it just goes away. Anybody that's dealing with pain, they have nothing to lose. There's no chemicals in these patches, and they work. The pain goes right away, and I'm a big believer in them, and I'm looking forward to keep using them.
I've seen a lot of relief, empowerment, a lot of satisfaction, because a lot of the patients that I see, patients with chronic illnesses, patients with autoimmune diseases that have struggled for years and years, to see them be able to live these lives of satisfaction, to have pain-free lives without the side effects. Those are life-changing moments for patients, and as a healthcare provider and a healthcare professional, that's something that you always are hoping for.
Luminas patches have really helped allow my athletes to move in ways that increase their efficiency, decrease stress on tissues, and get rid of pain long-term. One of them, she was a woman who had a serious neck injury, couldn't turn her head more than 10 to 20 degrees in either direction, was going to head to surgery in 2 weeks. Put the patches on, within 2 days had complete range of motion back in her neck, and for someone who couldn't move her neck at all, was scheduled to have surgery in 2 weeks. This was amazing.
The one area that I think as a physician you really can improve somebody is to get rid of your pain. And so a lot of my work now is designed to minimizing inflammation.
We can now bring down clients' pain and inflammatory levels very quickly.
So what I do is I start by just looking at the basics. What areas need support to make that inflammation leave the body? And then I get to look even deeper. I look at other cultures, finding out what they've had success with. And then I go into all the research that's done at universities, and I find these ingredients that have had great success. And so I get to bring all of these together by putting it as electrons in the patch. The body has this huge menu. It can select exactly what it wants.
Well, what they've been able to do with these patches is capture the electron profile of hundreds of different natural compounds that have been shown through years of research to have a great anti-inflammatory and anti-pain effect on the body.
It has almost 260 different ingredients in it.
We're talking about turmeric and botswala and ginkgo and vitamin D. So we're taking a natural compound, capturing its information, putting it on the patch, so when the patch goes on the body absorbs that information and utilizes it.
This is energy medicine. It gives us the chance to give the body everything that it wants, and it gets to choose.
This is the type of technology that really fuels my passion. This is why I became a healthcare provider. The patches are kind of the new wave of the future of pain management.
Now the great thing about this is there's no side effects, and almost instantly you're going to start to see some relief.
With narcotics, you have side effects, and then you have dependence. With anti-inflammatories, you have definitely got serious side effects. If you're on certain medications, you can't have any of this stuff. The patch provides an alternative.
There are no drugs in the patches, yet it still helps us get rid of the pain, gets rid of the inflammation. There's no load on the liver and kidneys. We're keeping our body healthy with minimal to no side effects.
You don't have to beat up your kidneys and liver and all of those kinds of things taking medicines every day in order to be well and to feel well. So they can actually have pain relief without all of the negative side effects.
And you can have anybody come in, grab one of these Luminas patches, put it on the area that is injured or hurts, and almost instantly you're going to start to see some relief.
And that's all it takes. It's so easy to use. There's nobody I can think of that I cannot use this patch on. It's that good.
So when I initially brought some of the patches out to the guys who are playing golf on the PGA Tour, there was obviously some huge skepticism. What ended up happening is one of the guys had a pretty bad knee injury and decided, okay, listen, the medications I'm taking didn't work and I have no other options. Tried a couple of the patches on his knee. 2 days later, felt almost no pain. Inflammation in that knee almost completely gone. It had been there for months. And it was at that point in time where some of the other athletes started to say, hey, this is something unique, this is something pretty interesting. And all of a sudden, that was the big thing on the tour.
Again, I was very skeptical, but I said, you know what, I'll try them. So I tried it on a few other people. When I was actually in the hospital, I told one of my nurses, I went up to her and I said, hey, you know what, I just want to try this thing with you. Next day, she comes up to me and she goes, my neck's never felt this good. And I was like, wow, really? I'm intrigued, you know, I want to do more research on this. Can you send me like the research and where this came from? And it was pretty robust data. And that's when, you know, things really took off in my mind. The potential of this technology was so huge. Yeah, I'm a big believer in the patch.
I was extremely skeptical because, like I said, I have become very, very particular about what I put in and on my body. So I wanted to know the technology, I wanted to know exactly what was in it. And my husband was a huge believer. He had patches all over his body and he was very convinced that they were working for him. So I think it was just one day that I was having some back pain. He put a patch on me and the next morning I felt amazing. After that, then I'm running around telling everybody about the patches, particularly our acupuncturist, because she treats a lot of people with acute pain. And so she also did the same thing, was like, well, what's in there? And we went through the same process and she's been a huge believer in them too.
There really doesn't seem to be an end to what might happen with these patches and what it might do to improve our lives moving forward.
It's going to open up a whole different ballgame. You know, and it's going to only help people.
It's amazing to see technology take the best of our world and the best of our earth and kind of marry them together and then basically help our body heal itself. And I'm so excited to be a part of that.